Gen G or KT. So that is very, very important here. Let's have a look at the predictions. As we did have, oh my.
No! He ruined it!
This was a whole thing. This was a whole thing, right? There was a whole problem because we had this in rehearsals, and it was 1 out of 13.
We fixed it!
And it was Jason. Jason was the only one who said KT, and there was some strong words we shouted at Jason, and we made her change it because we knew this would be a problem. We knew if there was 1 out of 13, it would really hurt KT's chances.
I'm so sorry, Atlas.
I'm so disappointed. From Life Esports, they are here getting prepared for who they're going to be facing off against tomorrow. We'll see whether they can remain undefeated here in the LCK playoffs or whether they will finally drop a game. We are going to be introducing the top laners first. I think this is where a lot of us feel like some of the gap may lie. You know, to use a London Metro system term.
Yeah, I feel like Perfect has struggled against a lot of the top laners in the top teams in the LCK. We've seen that in the Legend Group, but I think in playoffs, he has really stepped up, been holding his own more, been surviving more, been doing better. It's a tough task today against Keen, but we saw that when these teams matched up against each other last. He had to hold his own against Keen, had to survive, and it's going to have to show that once again today.
It's a combination of Perfect, I think, stepping up in performance, and KT also playing around it better. Because Cuz is so much more proactive in form, they're actually getting stuff, even if Perfect is getting pressured. The problem is obviously that he's going up against the most consistent top laner that we've had in the LCK probably ever. Keen is just a force of nature. This guy is impossible to shut down, and he can really do it all.
Yeah. The most dangerous 1-4 Gwen I've seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I think just so versatile as well, whether it's carries or tanks. I feel like Keen's ability to sort of... You have some players who play tanks, but they're definitely preferred on carries. I feel like Keen is just so good at playing that very much that tank role or that carry role, and feels he can flip a switch and do either within a series so comfortably. But yeah, a tough task for Perfect, but one he managed to match up to last time these teams went head-to-head.
Yeah, Perfect has just somehow found it in him on some occasions. We'll see whether today is going to be another one. But this guy, I don't think we have too many doubts about Cuz and the form that he's in right now.
The biggest individual gap that I think we saw this playoffs was between Cuz and Canyon in that match between the two teams, right? It was an absolute showcase of domination, and when BDD has been the main talking point, and I think Cuz actually had a pretty lackluster start of the year, he has been ramping up and peaking at exactly the right time, and I think he's the main reason why KT is right here as the upper seed.
Yeah, and going up against him, Canyon, a player, one of the 2 world champions on Gen G, a player with a huge legacy. So many people have so much respect for him, but I don't think he's really lived up to that during playoffs. And he's been put in the time. We've seen solo queue record. He's been absolutely on a tear. He knows he hasn't quite lived up to the performance we typically expect in him. The performance that got him that first All-Pro in jungle. He knows that it was his underperformance that really let KT get that previous win. But he is definitely a player who is capable of super high highs and needs to show that to sort of put Cuz in his place today.
Yeah, we'll see whether the polar bear has indeed woken up from his hibernation or whether he is going back to sleep. Hibernation generally is one of those things where you wake up and then you don't go back to sleep for a really long time. You know, for that but do still sleep, but you know what I'm saying.
Even in the T1 series, though, he was still groggy. You know,
the
first 2 games we didn't.
He's had a week though, and we'll see whether that's going to be enough. BDD doesn't need a week though. This guy has just been on for years, even if his team isn't necessarily there.
One of the few man that is actually punching above his weights in the All-Pro. Second team, and it couldn't be more deserved.
Yeah, and he's just been the star for KT. You know, there's been ups and downs for the team, but I feel like consistently he's been putting in these massive performances, and you think of him bringing out some of the classics like the Zoe, the performance he had on that game. He has done so much to bring this team up to these highs. His teammates have really helped him get there, but BDD has just been the constant talking point when you've looked at this KT team all season long.
Absolutely, and when it comes to the talking point of League of Legends and who is the best in the world, there is none other than Chovy. I think everyone has been saying this for a very, very long time. He also looked a little bit sleepy over their last couple of matches, but ending on that Vex game, I think we all were reminded just how good this guy is.
I mean, MVP, first All-Pro, first in POMs. he does put on those masterclass performances, and as much as we haven't seen that consistent level for him during playoffs, that Vex game just reminded you of what he can do.
I think he's cursed by his own standards. 2024, he was just so far ahead of the curve. And we saw his stats in the pre-show.
Yeah.
This is one of his worst playoffs, and his stats were still absolutely ludicrous. Can't wait to see what this matchup will bring today and what these players are going to play as well.
And in the bottom side of the map, this is one of those things that just feels a little bit lopsided, right? Like someone really just lucked out in Fantasy. They managed to get both Chovy and Ruler on the same team, but Docdom has been standing up over the last few weeks. This guy has looked transformed.
I mean, the thing is, at the start of the year, Docdom, there was a point where he was subbed out, and you gotta remember—
We were complaining as to why Hype was traded over to Bro. Like,
yeah.
That was happening.
That was the actual conversation, and now he is like the less talked about, the quiet carry for this team, but consistently, there's so many games where, yes, you get these big flashy performances from BDD, but Docdom is just putting in solid damage numbers, being consistent team fights, and really performing.
And then Ruler, a player that has come back to Gen G, and I think in a lot of their highest stakes, highest pressure moments, he has shown his class. He has shown why he's considered as one of, if not the greatest AD carry of all time. Like, I think any of our AD carries that are currently Viper and Guma are no different. Even Docdom, as we highlighted, have all had their ups and downs. But if you look at the average level throughout the year, and when it really mattered, I feel like Ruler has just always come through.
Yep. I think it's so scary because we've seen so many games where it gets later in Fearless, there's less engaged tools. Picks like Zeri gain in value. You get Ruler Zeri, and it's just cooked. There's just so little you can do.
Look at the smile, though.
Yeah.
Docdom giggle.
Docdom is looking like he is vibing today. And speaking of which, speaking of perfect segues into the classic Aura Farmer himself, once again on a big stage.
Look at it!
It's the big grin of Peter, the greatest. Well, he's probably not the greatest player of all time, but he certainly holds a huge place in our hearts. This guy is just the best.
The beating heart of KT, the
Absolutely.
vibes, the immaculate vibes.
I'd say the beating heart of the LCK.
Absolutely, the energy. Whenever there's a great performance for KT, you see the reaction from the team. He always brings so much energy, so much hype, and it's just phenomenal.
Yeah, BDD is the soul, and Peter is the heart of that team. And this man, with top-tier players, he has been able to stand out anyway. He has people complaining that he's not getting enough credit.
Yep.
He's getting counter with top-tier players. He has been able to stand out anyway. He has people complaining that he's not getting enough credit.
Yep.
He's getting counter picks. He is getting put in positions to carry his team, and he follows through.
Situations like the Game 5 Pike against Carrier, the most recent, the Blitzcrank to get Gen G back into the series. He is carrying from the support role, and Gen G are trusting him to do that despite being a player with so much less experience than his teammates. They trust in that experience he has.
And that Blitzcrank game really was a huge turnaround and just demonstrates the mental fortitude of this guy. It was his confidence that really stood out when he debuted in the LCK, and that is continuing to be a driving force for this guy. As KT, I think, to me, I don't know whether I can see it or whether it's just placebo effect, but I can see how surprised they are that they're here as well. Because this is not the expected outcome, right? It's supposed to be T1, Gen G, and Humble Life Esports as our top three, and KT have just snuck on in there.
Yeah, I mean, even just Gen G being in the lower bracket isn't a typical thing.
Yeah, KT are the highest seed in this match. It makes no sense. Oh my goodness, and now Fan Chance led by BDD.
KT 롤스터 하나, 둘, 셋.
Better than last time.
오늘 꼭 3대 0으로 이기겠습니다.
And Ruler.
하나, 둘, 셋.
All right, team leaders calling the shots for the Fan Chance here. And we are almost ready to get the players seated and ready to get into this game number one of this best of five here to see who will be facing off against the LCK defending champions of Humble Life Esports, the undefeated team here in the playoffs.
Yeah, just make me wonder what Gen G are going to take here in the support role. Just going to go for the rel. And I feel like Duro's had some great performances on this. Obviously, just playing around the map, having a lot of impact, setting up ganks for the team. There's so much engaging team fighting potential for Gen G. I feel like they're just so comfortable because I think KT, you know, if Perfect has a fantastic game on the Ambassador, that's great, but so much of that comp is relying on Dr. on this Yunara popping off. And I look at the other side, and Gen G has so many tools to stop that from ever being a problem when it comes to Yunara, because there's a lot of CC. Often we see the Yunara have a lot of value when things like the Wukong are taken out of the equation, but Orianna, Rumble, Rel, Jarvan, it's a hard game to play as a Yunara, and you don't have the extra support of like a Lulu or something backing you up.
And of course, in the game as well, as we get ready to jump onto the Rift for game number 1 of our lower bracket final. BDD pushing pretty far up though, so like you say, minions being angry.
Was that Canyon had basically no early impact, whereas Cuz was winning multiple lanes as Chovy.
Oh, the flash in from BDD is in comes Cuz,
There you
throws the buckler at the back of his head, and down goes Chovy for first blood. Moving over towards these grubs as they spawn. Canyon and Duro in the area. Level 6 for Duro as well. As the hook comes on through, they're engaging onto the rel. I don't know whether it's the best choice, as Cuz is just going to evict Chovy from the fight. Now Canyon's in trouble, as Dr. doesn't have a Slurkle anymore, but in goes Duro, and he will fall down. But the trade is there immediately. In the meantime, Perfect is there towards the bottom side of the map, and the 1-for-1 isn't too bad if Peter does stay alive, and that will indeed be the case. Still, the grubs go over to Gen G, and they'll claim their prize.
Gen G starting up the Dragon here, and it looks like KT not really in position to contest.
Yeah, we do have Cuz moving over, as they do clear out the vision in the back of the pit here, but Gen G 4-man strong will be able to take this one by the looks of things. Too much of an issue here is now Gen G finding an angle towards Peter on the bottom side of the map. Magnus Storm comes in, flash out from Peter, but he still gets pulled back in. Let's see where the ruler is going to be all right, as there's the flash forward. Good flash away as the depth charge not going to be avoided, but down comes Gen G, and out goes Peter via the death chamber.
The great escape, but he's able to disengage in the situation. It's Peter who goes down.
Oh, speaking of going down, could be a little bit of a rough spot here for Canyon, as he does. Flash Flag Dragon gets himself out of his Cataclysm. Man, I was expecting him to die.
Sundered Sky, baby.
Oh, there we go.
To find those engages.
Max range hook here from Peter. Looks for a bit of an angle, but out goes Duro. Oh, perfect, teleporting in. And they're not wanting to give away feats of strength for free.
Look at BDD on the flank.
Looking to throw a bear at them. Let's see what happens here as second dragon. Oh, the flash in from Peter. They're looking for Ruler, who does get knocked up. And the Cataclysm comes down, but the rel's already dead. Out goes the Jarvan. Peter is traded, but now Keen's in an awkward spot. And Dr. is free hitting. BDD gets on top of Chovy, and Dr. just flashes for it. Now Perfect dashing around this fight as Keen flashes away. It's Cuz that locks down the dragon, and Gen G, they do secure an even kill trade, unless Cuz is able to make this one a problem, and never mind, it's a problem for Cuz. Down he'll go, and Gen G will actually win the fight, even though they lost the Drake. It's a 2-0-3 Corki here, and we know Ruler can really get some things done with this champion. Rift Herald has been started, and Gen G, oh man, they are all grouped up and ready to go. Equalizer goes down first as Cuz gonna get interrupted on the ult. He does slam Canyon against the wall as now BDD looking for Chovy off to the side. Perfect execution to come on through there, as it's public, but it's also Perfect playing the champion, so I reckon we'll count it, as Gen G will steal away the Rift Herald and immediately slam it down in the mid lane.
Canyon actually dodged the ultimate from Cuz there, which is what allowed him with his own ultimate, so he was untargetable and is able to get the smite steal.
And now Gen G's routed. They have the Herald, they slam it down mid immediately, so even though it's a 1-for-1, the fact that Gen G get a Herald and then immediately go towards mid and get this impact from it, they feel so good about the outcome of this play.
Yeah, 2,000 gold in an instant.
It's such a problem, especially he's approaching the point. Oh.
Yeah, BDD gonna drop a bear on top of Keen here. The equalizer does go down, but that's just gonna eat up the wave. And down goes the Rumble. Nice little pick off there by KT. Let's get onto this team fight, though, as Canyon wrapping around here. Keen dead for another 1 second. No teleport to get back to this fight. And Canyon's just caught out of position. Gets knocked up, just thrown around like a ragdoll, and down he will go. Another kill to Dr. and Otacon going to KT. The pendulum, it do be swinging here at the Inspire Arena.
That interrupted, and that's also going to be the next dragon going over, and KT really pushing back here in terms of control of the map.
And that's the thing, is that Gen G has a slight gold lead, but that's with the fact that they've taken a lot of structures, a lot of towers.
Yeah, as Blasco going to deliver Cuz into a lot of open arms of Gen G, and he's going to be taken down pretty comfortably here. Duro going to be the one to collect the kill, and Keen also taking a turret on the other side of the map.
Banana Brush?
Yeah, they're going to get control of it this time around, but Gen G already starting off this Dragon. Perfect, looking for an angle towards Keen. They do spy the Rumble lurking in the back of that pit as the equalizer into the Banana Brush, doing absolutely nothing at all. Perfect getting on top of Keen here, but the Poppy ultimate is going to get avoided. Somehow it's Ruler that takes down the Dragon. Is Perfect able to dash his way out. BDD's being exhausted, and Duro gets on top of him. The Annie executed immediately, and KT just cannot do damage in this fight. Down go 3, and Doctom just gonna have to walk away from this one. Manages to dash away from Canyon, but Keen probably not going to let him leave. The Harpoons looking for him, but he doesn't even need them. Unable to dash over that wall. Down goes Doctom, and Gen G, I think, just won the game.
And yeah, even it's hard to imagine anyone getting picked off with the tools available right now.
It's an 11,000 gold lead.
Yeah,
pretty
right? It was just a couple of fights, didn't end up going their way. Gen G, obviously, as they always are, very punishing when it comes to rotations around the map. They did also get Rumble, Orianna, and Jarvan.
Yeah.
That is a little silly.
And Corki. Corki's pretty good too, as it turns out. Equalizer goes down. They do manage to avoid it. Cuz does pick up the red buff as Magnet Storm going to be thrown in, but doesn't really do too much. Slurkle. But KT will just back away. BDD looking for a bit of an angle here as Doctom is scary. The hook to come on out, but Keen just eats it with the Zhonya's. So no flash here for Peter. Chovy looking for a window, does find it. Another hook is going to connect. Peter does find the knock-up onto Canyon and manages to make his way out. And there's the ulti. Will connect onto Keen now that he doesn't have that. Zhonya's the flash forward. There's the public execution, but Chovy goes golden as well. And now it's Duro's turn to get in there. Still, they don't have a lot of the tools, and Chovy will be taken down. BDD in trade immediately, but Doctom, can he actually get it done? The answer is no, because Ruler is unfortunately still alive for KT fans, and yeah, that 1v1 ain't gonna be one you're gonna win there, Doctom. It's a quadra for Ruler, and Cuz will deny the Penta, but I don't think he's gonna deny his Nexus going down.
He barely took out Chovy.
What do you mean? It's 4 times that amount. They should have easily been able to do it.
Ruler just sat there free hitting, having the great time on this Corki, doing so much damage, and now Cuz trying to defend solo. We'll see if Ruler cares more about the Penta.
Of course he does!
Yeah, I don't know whether the Penta still exists, but we'll see whether he can get it. Unofficial Penta kill there from Ruler as he takes down the Nexus. Gen G will strike first.
And maybe, because I feel like this game, you needed Perfect to be popping off. And I don't think he necessarily played bad, but I just feel like he didn't have that impact. And BDD's playing a more utility role.
Now he's considering a Kali lock-in, and that will be picked up as we get the full zoom onto BDD's face. Man, he is not happy with how that Annie game went.
Aatrox looking to come through, good matchup into the side, not too much a surprise then, especially if you're diving in and you have a lot of short-range picks. The value the Aatrox can get here is absolutely massive.
Who kills Aatrox? Like, once he gets his items, that's going to be tough. I think KT's composition, they do have an incredibly strong, like, level 6 spike across the board. I think that the Nico, Akali, and Zeri angle I really like. But you gotta win the early game, because if you start falling behind against this composition and you're trying to 5v5 into Aatrox, into Sivir, into Rakan, I don't think it's gonna end
I feel like it's a situation where if they even slightly fall behind, they're just gonna get blended.
Like so much on the shoulders of Cuz and BDD. But that's a Wednesday for this team. Gentlemen, let's get onto the riff for game number 2 is already Keen finding some value against Peter and Doctom, but does have to flash. I did like the fact that he hit a couple of Qs though. And it looks like everything is just fine for the moment. Down by about a wave is probably what you'd expect for the Akali in this matchup. The Seismic Shove is going to catch him though as BDD takes a turret shot, has to flash to get out of the way of Chovy. That was gorgeously played. 5-point strike will connect there onto Chovy. And there is the Dragon going down. Hextech going to be the second one. I just don't think Ocean Soul is very powerful in League of Legends. I do think that the Ocean is pretty cool though, and Chovy going to be flashing away from BDD here. Doesn't find the Shuriken backflip for that reason, but hits level 6. I think this next fight is going to tell us so much.
Because I do think they need to win, right? Like, Duro?
Oh, yeah, actually taking a lot of damage here as the last turret shot comes through a little bit late. The train is making its way down, and Perfect will be able to pick up this wave outside of the range of the turret as well.
Down with low HP. They obviously knew it wasn't Doctam because he wasn't using his Q, but do you see Canyon and Keen moving over for Cuz?
Yeah, good sidestep here from Cuz. Does get pulled back by the Infernal Chains, but puts down the kennel for Keen. BDD now into the Shroud, and they're looking to lock down 2 of these grubs. We'll see whether KT can actually do that as they're waiting on this Smite cooldown momentarily. Canyon moves on in. He should be able to get this second one. And we'll see whether Gen G decide to stick around as Keen. Still at about 50% health, but he is Aatrox. Doesn't quite have the broken item yet, but does, of course, just have his passive.
Yeah, Cuz is going to have his Smite sooner, so I think Gen G knew they just had to kind of back away on that one with not fully contesting when they don't need to. Oh,
BDD going in. Does throw down the ulti here. Doesn't hit the backflip, but now BDD underneath the turret, and it's Chovy that outplays it!
I still have my flash.
I was honestly expecting it, and then he went back in.
Then he fully committed.
Oh, Peter looking for the Pop Blossom. Doesn't get it on the Ruler. The spell shield's fantastic. Does still manage to land the Tangle Barbs, though, is now Doctam going aggro towards Duro here. He flashes away, but the slow connects onto Ruler. Great sidestep from Peter there as well, as it's now Duro in trouble, and Doctam picks up the kill. The sidesteps were pretty nice, but not enough.
And this is just the power of the level 6 from the Zeri. That being said,
that's Talia.
Yeah, teleport to come on through here as they're looking to try and turn it, standing their ground as they maybe shouldn't have. Flash out there from Doctam as now BDD going aggro once again.
Exactly.
Now look at this team fight.
Yeah, Dragon's going to be equalized here as pay attention, please, Orcs. Interruption on the Weave as well, fantastic. There's Chovy down very low once again, has to use that flash immediately as soon as it comes back off cooldown. This game's still exceptionally close, but Gen G slowing down that Dragon stacking.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's the flick onto Peter immediately. Gets quickness up though, and the charm is going to hold him in place long enough for that Nico to just have no option. BDD wanting to backflip his way over this wall, but it's getting dicey. Does get on over. Megacone is going to be there as well as the Rift Herald down to 50% health. KT had already started this one up. Teleport in from Perfect. He's going to have to land this engage if they want to stand a chance. As Canyon goes in, manages to take the Rift Herald here. The knock up onto the Scion, who's being thrown around like a ragdoll, and now Keen finds the back line. The flash over the wall from Perfect, but he's out of the fight. Pop Blossom does nothing at all. And the Weaver's Wall comes in. Perfect somehow actually utilizing it quite well, but it's the Zeri that goes down first. Canyon sacrifices himself, and now Chovy is behind enemy lines claiming all the flashes. And that fight was almost 100% Gen G.
It looked like Gen G had a 4,000 gold lead with how that fight played out. Oh, Shuriken doesn't connect. At no point in that did KT really look like they had any momentum. It felt like they were just running away.
Well, we might see another one here, or at least an attempt, as Seismic Shove connects onto Perfect. He is in a lot of trouble. Infernal Chains pull him back in. When becomes Lightning doesn't find the mark here as BDD on a flank angle. Does get that Shroud down. Now Ruler in trouble as Cuz gets on top of him, but Perfect is going to be the first one to go down. Just front to back here from Gen G as Ruler claims the first kill. Doctam sliced in half by the full health Keen. And yeah, that problem that you posed earlier, Chronicler, we're seeing the answer is there's nothing. There's no option. As maybe if he's not there, then there's a possible kill on Ruler. No! He's going to be able to avoid the Shuriken, but Cuz he's just got a big club, so there's not a lot of outplaying that. Yeah, no, that's absurd. 2 items have been completed as Chovy drives on in, doesn't find the Seismic Shove, but they will be able to find this first turret. And Gen G, they would have got more feats of strength, but they already had claimed them.
Particularly at this point, particularly at this specific moment in time.
Yeah.
It's like the spookiest point of the movie.
And yeah, it's spooky as well because there is a hiding Zeri. Is now Chovy going to get knocked up, and that is another kill going over to Doctam. That is a lot of money for him as well, as that's shutdown gold going in.
So, big influx for the Zeri. Should have second item completed.
Yeah, knock up onto Cuz here as Keen finds the angle, and Subjugate is not going to keep him alive, although it is at least trying.
They got to try.
Yeah, looking for a bit of an angle here. We'll see whether they can find it. The Seismic Shove connects, and Cuz taken down to below half health already before the fight has even started. And Shuriken backflip not going to connect onto Chovy once again. This dragon down relatively low. We'll see whether they can steal it away because he just can't get in. And it is just going to be secured here by Gen G. Now Perfect trying to run away, does break the chains that bind. I just don't know whether that's going to be enough as the wall will be put up. And not going to be followed through on as Gen G. They can just back away if they would like to. BDD, good backflip out of the way of Duro here, as now Keen possibly out of position as he does go into that World Ender state, and now the train is going to connect Pop Blossom onto 2. Can Keen actually die? The answer is no, ladies and gentlemen, because he is just too massive. Cuz gonna go down as well, and if you're ever gonna kill him, it was gonna be there. So for the rest of the game, I think Keen's just immortal.
It was a 10%!
It's all about the Hail Marys.
No, Keen's there. Get away, KT.
Yeah, unfortunately,
No!
the certification office is now closed, and BDD is stuck inside his blue buff pit. And now Keen looking for a bit of an angle. The solo Pop Blossom comes in. BDD, a bit of burst damage, but the Baron is going to be secured. And KT are just trying to cut their losses. Their losses will be Cuz at least, but Perfect likely to go down as well. Megacone going to be helping out here as Dr. barely avoids the wind becomes lightning, but I just don't know whether that is even going to be enough as he slides over the wall. Canyon taking a bit of damage, but Gen G just going to follow these minions towards this inhibitor turret. And man, I think they are looking to close this one out pretty quickly. They don't have inhibitor turrets. Oh, apart from the top one, that's something. All right, KT, last-ditch effort. We said the last one was a Hail Mary. I don't know what the next level is. I think I got to Hail Mary too quickly because they have another opportunity to do a thing that is like a last gasp. You know, maybe that's what it is. As all right, wall is going to be put up. That does get the Trundle out of there, but that is just buying Gen G the space to take down this inhibitor.
Canyon's 3 levels higher.
Oh, they're going for it. Let's see whether the raid boss can actually be taken down. They haven't killed the ads though, and unfortunately that means that the raid boss is all that more powerful. You have to do the mechanics. KT is Dr. going to get punished. Goes for a bit of a skate through the turret, but unfortunately he's out of the fight. PDD now looking for a little bit of an angle, but Perfect is going to be torn to shreds. And the Nexus turrets will be next to go down. We won't see the revolting Aatrox with Chemtech Soul because unfortunately the Nexus is going to die beforehand. Duro having a little bit of a party on the fountain.
Canyon, no!
Canyon is tanking up an inner turret for some reason and is still able to kill BDD. Please put them out of their misery, and Gen G will. They go to match point here in this best of 5, and I hazard a guess to say that they're looking like the favorites in this series.
Is that both Chovy and Canyon are awake. And I think that that is also what has been, to me, what has allowed Keen to carry the way that he did. Because I think that Keen, Ruler, and Duro, to me, look no different than they did in the first series. I think they were playing well back then.
And actually, it's Gen G going for like a 2-carry composition with 4 melee if they lock in this Ornn.
That is, it's feeling like things are switching sides just a little bit as far as the comps are concerned. I don't want to take away from what Gen G have put together, though. There is a lot of CC. So you could have a lot of KT members just not able to play the game. But like you were saying, possibly missing out on damage, and we'll see whether that does come back to bite. The tempo vibes, though, to mention them the first time this series, well and truly in Gen G's favor.
Chovy was actually able to, in the last game, to get a good trade back. This time, BDD really putting the pressure on him.
As we've also got the junglers fighting. There's fighting all over the place. Is now Keen looking for a bit of an angle. The flash away, and Keen also going to be flashing here as now you got a Zenith Blade in, and Canyon is looking to die, but the heal comes on forward. He goes back. The triple pulverize is good, but it's a punch to come through for first blood. Still, the counter punch is better as Gen G take down 2.
The heal was so clutch to keep Canyon alive just a little bit longer, bait them in, and now
oh god, Doctor's dead as well?
Has to flash.
He has to flash to get over the wall. So Duro, oh my, what is it with this guy in game 3? Well, what can he get now is the question, as there is a knock up onto Keen. He gets out. Keen is the one that's now in a little bit of trouble. No flash available. Will get slowed down. And I don't think, oh, never mind. Keen surviving for a while. Cuz will be taken down though, as it's a 1-for-1 on the top side. And Feats of Warfare will be taken here by Gen G at 5 minutes in the game.
So actually, I want to see KT keep going for these fights. right? This composition has a lot of built-in power just with the ultimates, the single target lockdown, and the power of like Dominus.
Mega Inferno Bomb comes in as Ruler just wanders past the turret. Duro's making his way and he's got level 6. Satchel is decent, but I don't think it's quite enough as Ruler taken down very low, but they still secure the kill onto the Ziggs. We just don't want it to get any worse.
So mean.
I think they would
don't want
want
it to get any worse.
They want to be stuck further in the past, you know, maybe.
2018.
No, last week.
So,
Yeah, last week
Yeah,
that
last
was
week
good.
would be pretty good. As now Duro's going to get taken. Update the scoreboard. Oh, never mind. You don't have to. You don't have to. There's no updates. No updates. As the curtains have now been called.
Oh,
As
Duro
Dr.
lives.
looking for an angle, cuz. Oh dear, the ulti from Chovy comes in. He was looking for Cuz first. Dr. is a sitting duck, but he does have to rebind that soul as Ruler diving forward. He's got a dancing grenade. It's not quite enough. And I don't think Ruler's going to be diving yet again. Deadly Flourish going to be back up and available pretty soon. That's a scary one. And it's also so easy for them to gain control if they lose it, right? Canyon's on Maokai, the best at retaking control. As Captive Audience is going down, you can see the Drake going down low as well. Teleport does come in. There's the Nature's Grasp. As it is the Vi stealing away the Drake. That is something. And now Cuz looking for an angle onto Chovy as well. Dr. keeping himself safe. It's a Cloud Soul, and that's pretty cool. But that's also a triple knock-up with the Pulverize. These Genji health bars are so low, but there's no one that can actually do damage apart from BDD, who flashes forward and immediately gets smashed back. And Chovy finds the knockups as well. The Ahri survives for a while, but eventually goes down, and Dr. just doesn't have enough in the tank. The last man standing, they get the dragon, but not much more.
And it looks... Okay, no,
in
there's
fact,
no
maybe
shot.
he should have.
No, not Teemo into Ziggs. Ox, give me a Ziggs check. Yeah, that would have worked, right?
How's the Teemo matchup?
Teemo's pretty bad in his Ziggs.
Oh, that's a shame.
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, they're basically the same champion, aren't they? Like, Teemo puts down the mushrooms and Jin puts down the flowers. It's the same thing.
I know you're rage baiting, and I'm not going to fall for it.
Okay. Well, inner turret now going to be taken here by KT. Not a lot of response by Genji outside of the outer turret in the top lane. So this is some Ziggs value.
This is what Ziggs is good at, you know, get some gold. They are potentially going to lose their mid-tier 1, though, if Genji chooses to throw Herald down there.
We'll be able to even up that turret scoreline as well as, sharp turn there from Canyon, keeping us on our toes.
Duro's on the flank.
This guy's cow is so scary. And Dr. be moving up here. We can place in a lot of weird stuff on the Rift with the satchels going everywhere and these signal posts from the trains. As BDD looking for a bit of an angle here. Keen with some side steps. Nature's Grasp does come on down, but he gets out of the way, steering charge, working out to avoid the charm. Cuz going in. There's some Dominus here from Perfect, who will get knocked up by Duro, but he does get stunned. Now Cuz looking for the angle, but immediately has to flash away. In the meantime, Canyon's just doing the dragon. And that is just going down slowly but surely. And KT with no real avenue in towards this fight. There is the Drake. They get vision of that as Solar Flare going to be eaten by the Bellows Breath. And now you've got Genji just trying to turn this one onto Peter. They should be able to take him down. Force shot will do it. And Duro looking worse for wear, but can they actually get to him? He's well and truly in the field right now as finally it's Dr. that's able to lock it up with the Mega Inferno Bomb. KT going 1-for-1 in the fight, but they lose out on the objective. We really need to take some
I don't think I can do that well.
No,
I
neither
should practice
could
maybe.
I.
Can I actually do the thing?
Can you do it again, just so I can take some...
I want to
I'm gonna take some notes.
the fault.
Can you do it again so I can take some notes? Quickly, Punisher.
Just, yeah, please.
We don't have time.
Take it away. Okay, it is going to be Nature's Grasp coming on through. Peter getting caught up as Cuz looking for the angle, but Duro says, no, I'm better at that than you are. As Cuz gets slammed back and taken down. Peter now, Eclipse not going to help him, but in goes Chovy, looks for the angle, catches the flash, and gets on top of Dr. Not going to get knocked up by the last Q though, but it's a double from Ruler, who immediately Captain Jacks and looks for the curtains on to KT. BDD blocking for Dr. The flash out of the way as Keen looks to come in. Deadly Flourish, not going to be able to pick up that kill, but it's only BDD and Dr. This inner turret's going to go down. And it's looking like KT may just be circling the drain here in game 3.
Oh my God, Atlas, no!
It's gone.
Probably pretty
Just
true.
gone.
Oh, the steal from Cuz! He is able to actually flash his way out as well. Peter may not be so lucky, but I think Peter for denial of Soul Point could be a good thing.
I don't care, I'm in denial too. You got this, KT, keep it going.
There we go. Love that optimism, but maybe just stick with optimism, nothing starting with E, and then we'll be all right. As Duro, sub 50%, the cow looking a little bit worried, does have the ulti though. Satchel gonna get interrupted so nicely here. Cease and desist comes down, Mega Inferno Bomb just barely catching onto Ruler there. Gets into the back line, and it's the cow down as well, beat it E. He's got some charges left on the ultimate, is now Keen. Going down pretty slowly, I have to admit. Ruler puts together the Infinity Edge. Peter rocketing in to help out Perfect.
Cuz is healing off the camps. He's trying to get back into the fight.
Yeah, Cuz is well and truly behind enemy lines as there's the knock up onto the Crocodile. He's sent skyward, and Canyon is able to brambly smash him to death. Cuz is actually just counter jungling.
Shutdown.
But I don't know whether information is actually going to help. Good charm does connect onto Duro looking for that flank angle. As there's the engage onto Perfect. He's taken down so incredibly low, so quickly, and it's Ruler that cuts him up. The Baron was just a bait this entire time. The knock-up doesn't connect onto Cuz though. Cease and desist into the backline, but Chovy's there with the ultimate to follow. And I think these wallets may just be a little hefty for KT to lob at Gen G. And he's also handing out a whole bunch of upgraded ones as there's the Nature's Grasp. KT gonna get coaxed away from this inhibitor turret. Now looking for a bit of a fight, but Chovy finds the angle. He gets in and then gets immediately out again. Perfect though, he's able to stay alive. They take down the tree, but down goes the inhibitor turret as well. KT put the phalanx together to try and block. Never mind, it's not enough. He's just too big.
Guys, I was thinking about the decision to have the Ziggs tank the Jin shots, and it seems to have backfired.
I don't think it was a
They
great
had
decision.
flash. They had heal.
He didn't want to flash in case he killed his teammate.
Could have lived. Dogdom, you're too good a teammate.
Oh dear. Well, the train is going to run over two of them. The Crocodile, the first one to go down. Cuz now in so much trouble as these 4 shots for Ruler, all of them are just nukes that he can throw at KT. This Jin is absurdly fed. Chovy also puts together his Infinity Edge and makes his way back as, man, this is triple shellacking for Gen G as they look to close in. The charm comes through. Duro says, yes, you're very charming, BDD, but unfortunately you're not going to win this series. As in goes Cuz, looking for the angle under Ruler. He just cleanses. He's wandering around. He was reloading for a little while longer, and he does get taken out. Now Keen could actually be close to death, but Chovy is having a field day. They took down one threat, but remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a 2-threat comp, and Chovy's the best player in the world. They will take down KT here as Perfect did have enough time to respawn. I just don't know whether this Crocodile is going to quite be enough. As in comes Canyon, that's the ace, and that is the Nexus going down for the 3rd time in this series, and Gen G will not be denied an 8th final in a row. And I have a feeling that, you know, there's a few people that were saying words like fluke and things like that was just a huge upset. I think Gen G is still good. I think those people are eating pretty good after this series as Gen G looking well and truly woken up and ready for the final tomorrow.
Well, I think something I would say is prior to that first matchup between them, Keen was rank 1 in Arena. A bit less Arena, you know, than they had before. And this guy definitely showed up today.
Looking at it from a more positive spin, as I often do, is that I think that KT's shown that if the members on Gen G don't perform... That finals, especially given that it's a rematch from last year's summer finals, and that was a 5-game banger.
And it was a rematch from the LCK Cup
Yeah.
finals.
Woo!
It was also great to see this dominant performance by Gen G. It goes to Keen.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the full team interview translation with Gen G, who just advanced to the finals 7 years in a row. Please welcome the full team: Keen, Canyon, Chovy, Ruler, Duro, and head coach Kim. Congratulations! First, Keen. Against KT Roaster, you just got a 3-0 victory and secured the finals. And you even got a POM. So did you expect such a dominant victory? No, because we had a defeat in the last match, we thought that it would be a little more, I guess, competitive. It would be closer. But honestly, given that it was such a clean victory, it feels great. yeah, you really did make up for that upper bracket loss. So, what paid off from your preparation? I think for the last match, I think we had some problems regarding the draft, so we tried to pay more attention regarding that. And honestly, we had a lot of feedback regarding our trades and just fighting, team fighting in general. And you meet Hana Life Esports in the finals. So against Zeus in the top matchup, what are your thoughts? In the LCK finals, it's been a while since I saw him in the top lane during the final. I just feel like Zeus has been a very proactive player, and he is a big influence, and he contributes a lot to his team's success. So I will keep that in mind. And Canyon, it was a rocky journey, but you made it to the finals. How do you feel? Now we had a good victory and made it all the way to the finals, which feels amazing. And everyone pointed out jungle to be the key today. So what did you focus on against Cuz today? I didn't think I actually paid particular attention towards Cuz, but it was more so regarding my own gameplay and just trying to make sure that our comp works against the team, the enemy team. And tomorrow you will fight Huddle Life Esports for the LCK trophy right here during the finals. So, what message do you have for your fans? As for my fans, thank you so much for coming, for all the support. I want to make sure that we win in the finals so that we can all celebrate together. Thank you. And Chovy, this is your 11th finals. And with that 3-0 over KT, how does it feel to advance to the finals? It was a 3-0 victory, making to the finals. And this will be my 11th finals, like you said. So it feels like, yeah, I've been to the finals so many times. Chovy, your movements to skill shots, to juking the enemy, you were just on point. And your game 3 Yone pick was something that we haven't seen for a while. And your gameplay-wise, you looked great. So what do you think? As for my gameplay, yeah, I think I'm pretty happy. I'm satisfied with my gameplay and my performance overall today. And now, you contributed to Genji qualifying to the finals 7 times in a row. So what is your mindset for the finals? I'm going to make sure that we win in the finals no matter what. And I'm going to continue making it to the finals so that we build up even higher and bigger records for Genji. And Ruler, the same year that you came back to the LCK, you made it back to the finals. How do you feel? It's been a long time since the last time I went to the finals in the LCK, and it feels amazing. It feels really fun. I feel like I'm just having so much fun playing in the LCK. And it felt like the enemy was trying to focus you down today, but you handled it flawlessly every time. So did you expect the enemy to focus you down too much? I guess just situationally, I just try to get a good read and grasp of the game. So, I did have an idea of how the enemy was going to play around, so that's why I was able to sort of counter that every time. And since the 2022 summer title, you're looking for another title with Gen G. So, what's your mindset to take it home? As we were able to win with a great performance, I want to make sure that we continue and bring that same performance and form tomorrow so that we are able to win tomorrow. And Duro, this is your first LCK finals. How do you feel? So far, I just had not imagined that I would be here all the way up to this point. And I think due to all the teaching and all the coaching that I got, I think that's why I was able to make it so far here. And how are you feeling today? I felt great. I think I was able to recover, and I'm feeling great overall. And since joining Genji this year, you just keep returning to big stages. So, how big of a stage does the LCK finals feel to you? It's our regional finals, so You know, I don't think it's going to be as different as any other regional finals and from other regions. So I think I just feel a lot of pressure. I'm going to have to be responsible for lifting a heavy trophy this time. And what are your goals for the LCK finals? It was a clean performance today, and I want to make sure that we bring that back tomorrow so that we're able to win it all. Next up, we have head coach Kim. It wasn't a smooth ride, but you made it to the finals. How do you feel? Now, this is our 7th finals in a row, and I'm just really happy to be a part of that record. And yeah, it wasn't very easy, but I'm just really glad that we're here. So what was the key to preparing for today? Thinking about always thinking about how to counter the enemy, but I think this time around we really tried to take all the high priority picks. And any word for your hardworking players? I think it was thanks to my players playing so well that we got a 3-0, and they've been working so hard. So yeah, I'm so grateful for you guys. Good job. And for all the fans who made it all the way to the Inspire Arena, what message do you have? I want to make sure that we're able to celebrate with all of our fans in the moment we lift the trophy. We hope to see you play your hearts out in the finals. Please give it up for Genji. That's the end of the interview with Genji, and back to our amazing analysts. Thank you.